To be perfectly honest, I am not quite sure how to start this video, so I'm just going to tell you that my husband had a heart attack. You've seen my husband in my videos. He's not one who gets on here and talks with me. He's usually that voice in the background that you hear. And I'll just say that this is not a video or a topic that I ever thought I would talk about. And these are certainly not words that I ever thought would come out of my mouth. On Monday, June the 7th, at 8:30 in the morning, he had a heart attack. He kissed me goodbye. I was sitting at my desk right here. He left for work just like he does every single Monday morning. And 30 minutes later, he had a heart attack. So hard to say. This is just so hard to talk about, but I am making this video at his request. This is not a video that I want to make. This is not something that I am ready to talk about. This is all so new. We've been to the cardiologist today, so we have information that I'm still trying to settle with. And like I said, I'm making the video at my husband's request. And he wants me to make it for one reason and one reason only, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. But I want to tell you what happened. And if you're new to my channel, if you have never seen me before or never seen my husband, his name is Randy. He is 52 years old. He is healthy. He is fit. He has no medical issues other than he does have high blood pressure. It runs in his family. His father has high blood pressure. Randy has taken medication for high blood pressure for probably 15 years now. He takes a very low dose of it, but still, every day he takes blood pressure medication. But that's it. He doesn't smoke. We do drink the occasional beer or occasional cocktail. We are active, we're young, we're healthy. He's 52. I mean, what happened was on the morning of June the 7th, Monday morning, Randy kissed me goodbye. He left for work. About 25 minutes later, he sent me a text. I don't feel well. I'm having chest pains. I'm sweating. I've got pain in my left arm. I think something's wrong. But what you need to know about my husband is he never sweats. Never. Like, we can be working out in the yard when we used to go to our workout class. Very rarely does he sweat. He just instantly started sweating. He started getting chest pain. He started getting an upset stomach. And he noticed that he was getting pain in his left elbow. Not necessarily arm pain, just pain in his elbow. At that point, when he was on the phone with me and he was explaining to me what he was feeling, and again, I want to reiterate that these feelings came out of nowhere. He was perfectly fine when he left the house. Except, let me back up to the day before. Sunday afternoon, middle of the day, Randy started saying, my neck hurts. Like, doing this. I think maybe I slept on my neck wrong. He said, it's not like a crick in my neck. It's just like tension. My neck is kind of hurting. And he talked about it all day long on Sunday. And Sunday night, we went out to dinner. When we got home, he put a heating pad on his neck. And I rubbed his neck and the muscles. And he just said, is this just not getting any better? It was bedtime. We went to bed. Woke up the next morning. I said, how's your neck? He's like, hey, it's just kind of the same. It's just, there. It's just hurting me. But never thought a thing about it. And then heart attack. We don't know, and we still don't know, that the pain in the neck is related to the heart attack. The doctor says he doesn't know, that men have so many different random symptoms before the onset of a heart attack. It could have been something. It could have not been something. But I just want to put that out there just so you know that he was having neck pain. So, Randy decides he is going directly to the emergency room. He went into the emergency room. He told them his symptoms. They immediately took him back to the room, got him hooked up on an EKG, gave him 4 baby aspirin and nitroglycerin underneath his tongue. He called me after they had done the EKG and said, they told me to just sit here and wait for a little bit. I not really in pain, but I'd feel about the same. And he just was going to wait it out for the period of time that the doctor said, just hold, just sit here. And then they were going to see if the aspirin and the nitroglycerin made any difference. And they were going to do another EKG and compare them. So while this is happening, I'm getting dressed. I get in my car and I'm headed to the hospital. And all the while I'm thinking, okay, he's got an upset stomach or something's going on, or Randy has heartburn. So maybe this is just heartburn. I don't know. But I'm headed to the emergency room. I'm about halfway there and my phone rings. I looked down, picked it up, and it was a FaceTime call from Randy. And I'm thinking, why is he FaceTiming me? He knows I'm on the way to the emergency room. And because I was sitting at a stoplight, I answered it. And I'm staring face to face with his nurse in the emergency room that says, "Get here now." That was tough. I knew at that moment something was very wrong. And there was no talking to Randy. I needed to get there. What she went on to tell me, I put the phone down. She's talking as I'm driving. She said that his second EKG confirmed he is having a heart attack. They are taking him into the cath lab. I need to get there. They cannot wait on me. I come wheeling into the emergency room, come flying into the back, and I am able to see him for about 20 seconds. They waited as long as they could on me. They were wheeling him out of the emergency room into the cath lab. As I was coming in, we met for 20 seconds. I could see the fear in his eyes and the tears, and I kissed him on the forehead, and he was gone. Because everything happened so quickly, I didn't have any information. I didn't know what was going on other than the phone call with the nurse and a very quick conversation with Randy when this first started. As soon as they wheeled him off, I had emergency room doctors, I had nurses, I had the hospital chaplain surrounding me and taking me into a private room to explain to me what was happening. It's like I was living in an alternate world. This just had not sunk in. 30 minutes before, I was home happy as a clam, just like I normally am. And now I'm in the hospital and Randy is having a heart attack. The emergency room doctor met with me and said that when they did his first EKG, when he first walked into the emergency room, the EKG looked suspicious. But they wanted to give him some medication, wait a little bit, and do another one to compare them. And as soon as they did that second EKG, they knew this was a full-on, full-blown heart attack. We're told that when someone is having a heart attack and they come into the emergency room, there is a code that goes out hospital-wide. It's called Code STEMI. Apparently they called Code STEMI for Randy, which means that everybody who was on this cardiac team literally comes running to the cath lab. Randy was wheeled into the cath lab, the cardiologist was there, and it proceeded on. So what they did was they found out that he had a blockage in the main, without getting too technical, the main part of his heart, the main artery of his heart had a blockage in it. The cardiologist later told me it was a thrombus. Could have been made up of blood or plaque or lots of things. Thrombus is a general word, but there was a thrombus in the main artery of the heart. It blocked the heart and it caused a massive heart attack. So while Randy was in the cath lab, I was in a holding room with the chaplain. He was pretty much with me the entire time, and I was in there about an hour. Of course, I had called no one. No one knew what was happening to my husband because I was in such a rush to get to the hospital. He barely was able to speak to me. This was just so surreal what was happening. I didn't call anybody. Our daughters didn't know. And I think that's why the chaplain stays so close at hand when someone is having a heart attack and they've been taken into the cath lab, because you don't know if that person is going to come out. You don't know what's going to happen. They could get in there, they could fix it, or they may have to open his chest. We were lucky. They were able to go in Randy's groin with like a miniature vacuum and get into that artery in the heart and vacuum out the blockage. And he was fine. So again, without getting all medically and all crazy, I just want to tell you that he did have to spend 2 nights in the hospital in the cardiac care unit, which is basically like intensive care, but it is specific to patients that have heart issues, heart things going on. Lots of tests. I mean, I'm telling you, lots of tests. What we did learn while we were there, the next morning after the heart attack, they came in and they did an echo test, which is like an ultrasound of your heart. And they did that bedside. I was in there when it happened, but of course I didn't know what I was looking at. But it is to make sure that your blood is flowing properly in and out and throughout your heart. Come to find out, the results of Randy's echo test showed that he had a teeny hole in his heart. It is called a PFO. That stands for something I don't even know, but a little hole in your heart. We are told that lots of people are born with a hole in their heart, and when you're children, the hole closes up and you never know it's there. And many adults actually have a hole in their heart. Never causes an issue for them, and it just remains there. In Randy's case, we've gotten several different opinions as to how the hole in the heart played a role in the heart attack. We understand that these are doctors' opinions. They're educated medical assumptions and guesses. But everyone has a different opinion. And so we are choosing to take all of the doctors that are now on his team. Believe me, we have a team. And kind of form our own opinion of why Randy had a heart attack. Let me tell you that his cardiologist says the hole in the heart allowed a little bit of blood to seep through that hole and kind of go back in the wrong direction. And over time, and I don't know what over time means. It could have been years. It could have been a week. We don't know. But over time, that little hole trying to close itself up formed a little blood clot on it. And on Monday morning, that blood clot broke loose, got into the main artery, and that is what caused Randy's heart attack. We have another doctor that we've known for many years and completely trust his opinion. He is not a cardiologist, but he explained it to us that no one can ever 100% know what caused Randy's heart attack. He did have a massive heart attack. It is termed massive because it was in the main artery of the heart. It was not in some of the smaller outlying areas, and it was a massive heart attack. They did not have to put in stents. They did not have to do a bypass. They were able, like I said, to go in and vacuum out that blockage. Thank goodness. Randy's heart is fully intact, very healthy. He has no plaque built up, no damage to the heart. He has fully recovered from the heart attack. However, don't leave me yet. There is more to the story. While he was in the hospital, they did lots of tests. They tested his legs to make sure he didn't have any blood clots in his legs. They did all kinds of blood tests to see if he had lupus or all of these things that could have potentially caused the clot that got in his heart. And everything about him came back perfectly normal and totally clean. So that's why the cardiologist is leaning toward the hole in the heart formed a clot, the clot broke loose and caused the heart attack. But back to our doctor that we've known for years and trust his opinion. Because he says that no one can truly ever know what caused that heart attack, that if it were him and he was talking to a friend or a brother, he would advise Randy to always be cautious and just know that he has had a massive heart attack. And because of this, Randy is now on all kinds of medication. He takes 2 blood pressure medications, a high cholesterol medication. Randy does not have high cholesterol. It's on the high end of normal, but high cholesterol runs in his family. His mother has it. And because there was a clot, it's just protocol. You are put on high cholesterol medication, and he is on 2 forms of blood thinner. So for now and for this foreseeable future, he is being treated as if he has coronary heart disease. Apparently that is standard procedure. When somebody has had a heart attack, you just automatically take all of this medication until some time has passed, and they will start weaning you off of these things if needed. So I wish at this point of the video that I could insert some pictures or some footage of what we went through, him in the hospital. I simply can't. When this was happening to him and to us, I did not think to take pictures or to take video. That was the very last thing on my mind. And I never thought that Randy would want me to do a video on this topic because it is so personal. But he asked me to do the video, so here I am today doing this. But I want to let you know that we met with the cardiologist today. They are going to do another surgery. They're going to go in through the other groin into his heart and close up that hole. All of that was discussed when we met with the cardiologist today. That surgery is coming up very soon, and I will do another video to keep you all updated, to let you know how that procedure goes. And now that I have my wits about me and I fully understand what's happening and we know what to expect, and I'll be able to get some video and to show you all in the hospital and kind of talk about the procedure as it's happening, I'll be in a much better state of mind, I think. But now to the reason that Randy wanted me to make this video. And like I said in the beginning, there is one and only one reason that he wanted me to make this video. And I wish he was beside me to tell you this himself. Randy doesn't like to talk to the camera, so I'm speaking for him. If you're watching this and you yourself, someone you know, a loved one, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, shows the symptoms of a heart attack, chest pain and pain in the left arm of any sort, they need to go directly to the emergency room. At that moment, they cannot wait. You heard the saying that every minute matters, and it literally, every minute that goes by dictates the outcome of your life. And every doctor has told us that the only reason Randy survived a massive heart attack was because he went directly to the hospital. He was at the hospital within 20 to 30 minutes of him starting to get symptoms and realizing, I'm having a heart attack. He didn't second guess himself. He went directly to the emergency room. And that is what saved his life. We are told that 75% of the men who come in with this exact same condition die immediately. They die, or they die in the hospital. He is one of the lucky 25%, and only because he listened to his instincts and he did what he was supposed to do. He did what he thought was right. Granted, he could have gone there and wasted a half a day and they sent him home and say it's heartburn. And you know what? If that had been the outcome, I would have been just fine with that. But knowing that he saved his life because he listened to his body and went straight to the emergency room. Don't wait. Don't sit at home trying to second guess it. Don't sit at home thinking, well, let me just see how I feel in 30 minutes. Those are the people who lose their lives because they second guessed the heart attack. And that is what my husband wants you to know, and that is what he asked me to pass along. So, as hard as this video was for me to make, I can tell you that he is one of the lucky ones. He is happy to be alive. I will tell you, he is happy to be alive. And that is the one thing I want to pass on to you in today's video. If nothing else, don't ever second guess a heart attack. I will do a follow-up video to this when Randy has his procedure to fix the PFO, the hole in his heart. It is coming up very soon. I will try to make it a little bit more of an informative video. I just needed to get this video out. I needed to say the words. I've not shared this information with many people. Yes, our family knows. We have some very close friends of ours that know, but this is all new. And even Randy still says that it just feels like a dream. I mean, did this really happen? Because it was just so unexpected given his age and his health. He is in perfect health, yet he had a massive heart attack at the age of 52. Keep an eye out for my update video. I will keep you all posted. And I just hope that this video, by you watching me speaking for my husband and hearing the signs and the symptoms, if this can resonate with anyone to save a life of your friend, your husband, your son, a loved one, a neighbor, anyone. That's why I'm making this video. So I will see you again after the surgery, and I'll keep you updated.